Are you that somebody? So, of course, over the weekend, Chicago experienced another bloodletting. Dozens of people were killed. And the interesting thing about that is that they always try to make it seem as if all black people are inherently criminal because of what's going on in Chicago. Now, as far as I know, 99% of black people don't live in Chicago. Chicago has its problems. In addition to a high murder rate, look at the unemployment rate. Look at the rates of education. Uneducated. Look at the access those people do not have. There are a lot of extenuating circumstances that make Chicago a very violent city, and no one would deny that. But imagine, this country has always tried to equate us all to Chicago. There are a lot of opiate deaths in West Virginia, in Ohio, in Pennsylvania, in many parts of the Midwest. But we don't say that all opiate deaths make all white people the same. It's interesting. In Chicago, in addition to all the problems they had, they recently took a van full of Nikes, pulled up in front of a basketball court where impoverished kids were playing, and basically did the equivalent of a sting operation. Now, if you give somebody who's hungry, an opportunity to steal some bread, or thirsty, an opportunity to steal some water, or feeling left out, an opportunity to steal some material goods, they're going to do it. But imagine if you took that same van and you took it and put it out in front of a bunch of people who were addicted to opiates, and you had that field of opiates. They would do exactly the same thing. Stop trying to make it look like criminality is inherent to just us. Anybody in those situations would do what they do. Crime is not about crime. It's not about color. It's not about hue. It's not about religion. It's not about race. It is about poverty. Neighborhoods in Chicago aren't safe just because they're full of black people. It's because they're full of poor black people. That is the difference. You know, oftentimes in America, it would be easier for a lot of people if we were afforded the same opportunities and protections that animals that you hunt are. You know, there are certain things you can't do to animals that you hunt. You can't hunt them on Sundays. You can't hunt them next to their home. You can only take a certain number of them. You can't kill the very young, and you can't kill the females because you want the species to exist. And if you do any of those things, other hunters will tell on you. They will tell on you because they want to keep hunting, and they believe they want to play by the rules. So if you did any of those things, they would tell on you. You know what else you can't do? You can't bait them. You can't trick them. In other words, you can't entrap them. You can't take a white-tailed deer and throw a coin out and then shoot it when it comes to get it. Any more than you can entrap impoverished people by putting a van out in front of them with something they like and arresting them because they take that. You can't do to animals that it's okay that you hunt the same thing you do to impoverished youth, black youth in America. You couldn't do it. And if you did do it, people would tell on you. If you did it, people would say, you know what, that's not fair. You can't drag net to get fish. You can't use dynamite. There's certain things you can't do. Isn't it a shame that in America, you can do more to young black youths than you can to white-tailed deer? That's a little note from the GED section. We got the Jazz Report coming up in 15 minutes. This, of course, is the D.L. Hughley Show.